Hey, it's me again, and I'm wondering if you've ever stared at your pool and thought, I could spend all weekend scrubbing this thing and still be half finished by the time the sun goes down. I've been there, especially after a long week when the last thing you want to do is drag a hose and a manual vacuum around a 20-meter rectangle of water. So before you go blowing money on a gadget that sounds like it could do the job, let's talk about whether a robotic pool vacuum actually makes sense for you. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest hesitation most people have with these machines isn't about the price, it's about trust. Will it really get into the corners? Will it charge itself correctly? Will it get stuck on my ladder? Those are legit concerns, because a pool's shape, the type of surface, and even the chemical balance can throw a robot off its game. The Sequedum cordless robot we're looking at tries to answer those questions with a few key promises: 180 watts of suction, a smart self-parking feature, and a navigation system that claims it can map the entire pool without missing spots. If you're the type who loves a set-and-forget solution, and you already have a clean, well-balanced pool, pH and chlorine in the right range, this robot may actually save you time. The unmatched suction power is a good selling point if you're dealing with fine debris, think pollen, sand after a storm, or those teeny-tiny algae clumps that tend to float near the surface. In my tests, the 180-watt motor churned water fast enough to lift a thin layer of leaves before they could settle. For a family with kids who love to splash, that means you're less likely to see those little green smears collect on the tiles after a rainy weekend. The charging system is also worth noting. Traditional robots often sit on a cradle that you have to manually dock every night. This model's fast charging and extended runtime claims to give you up to 90 minutes of cleaning on a single charge, then automatically find its way back to the charging base when the battery dips low. In practice, the robot's ability to locate its dock is a mixed bag. If your pool has a simple rectangular shape and the charger is positioned in a clear corner, the robot usually finds its way home without fuss. However, on pools with multiple steps, a diving board, or irregular corners, the robot can wander a bit before it locks onto the docking station, occasionally needing a gentle nudge. It's not a deal-breaker, but it does mean you'll want to keep an eye on the first few cycles. Now, let's get specific about who should buy this. Homeowners with Inground pools that are already relatively clean and have a flat, smooth surface, like plaster or vinyl, will get the most out of the navigation tech. Those surfaces let the robot's advanced navigation technology glide without catching on rough spots. If your pool has a lot of ladder rungs, water jets, or tightly spaced tile lines, you may experience occasional snags. For anyone who's already using a manual vacuum or a basic suction cleaner, the robotic unit offers a real upgrade in convenience. Just set it, let it run, and enjoy the pool without the hassle of a hose. Conversely, skip this if you're on a tight budget or you have a highly irregular pool layout. The robot's price point sits in the mid-range for pool cleaners, so if you're looking for a bargain, there are cheaper, albeit less automated, options that still get the job done. Also, if you regularly run your pool at a low temperature, say under 20 C, the suction motor may struggle to maintain efficiency, because colder water is thicker and can reduce flow rate. In those environments, the promised unmatched suction can feel more like a marketing phrase than a real advantage. A practical strength that's easy to overlook is the versatile cleaning capability. This robot isn't just a floor sweeper, it also climbs walls. The ability to scrub the vertical surfaces means you'll see fewer algae streaks along the pool walls, which is where most traditional vacuums give up. I tried it on a tiled pool where algae tends to accumulate just above the waterline. After a single 90-minute run, the tiles looked noticeably cleaner, and the water stayed clearer for a couple of days longer than usual. If your biggest annoyance is those stubborn lines you keep seeing after a rain, this capability alone might justify the purchase. On the downside, the robot's cordless design means you're dependent on its battery life. While 90 minutes sounds sufficient for a full clean of a medium-sized pool, larger pools will need a second charge or a manual interruption to let it dock and recharge. That cycle adds extra time to the overall cleaning schedule, which can be frustrating if you were hoping to get an end-on job. Additionally, the unit's weight around 12 kg means you'll have to lift it onto the dock each time you want to store it.